What is going down, everyone? It's time for the hype, episode 256. A lot of fire going on in the hobby right now. Topps Chorme is the topic, so you know we got to get to it. So we'll be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Aaron Judge cards because, you know, he's going to have like 60-something home runs by the end of the year, and it's quite the hype. So we're going to take a look at his cards, maybe Triple Crown in his future, maybe going to throw on a Giants hat at some point. Not this one, but a real one. And we're also going to talk some football. The NFL Blitz is back. We're going to talk about stars. We're going to have guess that player based on some of their card sales. So that should be a fun battle that C-Rad's also going to lose as well. We also got some new releases to talk about. Lots of things going on in the hobby. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit subscribe. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. Anywhere you can either find video or audio, that's where you can find us. And it's good. It's a great week in the hobby, guys. We got to talk about more controversy. I just want to know, how many Julio Rodriguez rookie cards do you have, non-autos?
Non-autos, 0. But I do recall that I won the last Guess That Price, so I'm actually a winner.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Did we count that one? I thought that was an exhibition.
No, that one counted. That one definitely counted.
But you can't win them all, man.
But Julio Rodriguez, 0 SPs, and it was a point of contention over the weekend. There was a lot of drama over the weekend, even in our own chat room. Towards Sunday night, there was like some drama in the chat room because people were like, "What's your statement on the no SPs? What do you think Topps?" I was like, "Listen,
Yo, what do you mean my statement? Like they could be out there. They still can be.
Yeah,
we do know that, right? Who knows?
Yeah,
I'd like to. We have it for the segment. I'd like to think that they figured out that they weren't in any boxes.
I hope so. But I mean, not one box. It wouldn't be just one box of just
that'd be wild.
Nothing but Julio Rodriguez and Bobby Witt.
Should have told people in the chat, said, like, let me go. I have the printing facility right behind me. Let me go check with them.
I felt like I was on TMZ by Sunday night because it was bubbling all weekend. It even started on release day. It's like I'm into my like second case ever of Topps Chorme on Friday, and people were already like, what do you think about the SPs being missing? I was like, wow. Like,
not even hello. How you doing?
I was like, let's wait until Sunday evening. I felt like the weekend was a good barometer. Like, if so much of this is being ripped this weekend, let's see Sunday night. And I guess people waited till Sunday night and came in the room and tell me like, what do I think? Where's the missing SPs? I don't know, man. I'm not Topps.
Should have told them I have them all.
I said that let's wait for Topps to give an official statement. Otherwise, I don't know why you were grilling me about the SPs.
You're just like, look, the Raiders just got beat in dramatic fashion by 20. They were ahead by 21 points heading into the fourth quarter, and somehow Kyler Murray came back and win. And now you're grilling me about Topps.
That part too, I will admit, yeah, that defeat got me hot already. So
it was almost a perfect Sunday. The Raiders and then the Rams almost got a comeback loss too. It would have been a great Sunday.
What happened at the Niners game?
Yeah. Oh, we just won a game. We went out there and won a game.
Out there, won a game.
Yep.
And nothing else happened.
That's the only thing that happened.
Only thing that happened.
Only thing to see here.
I thought there was supposed to be some rain.
They didn't. The Seattle Seahawks did not score an offensive touchdown the whole game, or an offensive point.
Congrats.
Yeah, so it's a great game.
Geno Smith. He is Geno Smith.
We contained the ever hot, just like as hot as the sun, Geno Smith.
You know what? I mean, I watched a little bit of that game. Again, the Rams were on at the same time, so why go out for burgers when you got steak at home?
You had to go.
I like to say
you had to fire up your AM radio to find the Rams game.
Yeah, I was watching it. Don't worry, Sunday ticket,
ham radio.
You know, just chilling. But I'm watching one play from the Niners game, and Pete Carroll like out coaching himself, huh?
Yeah,
just
time to go back to USC, Pete.
Having DJ Dallas try to throw a ball. It looked like he'd never threw a ball before in his life, and just shot put the ball into a defender's hands.
Yeah, week 1 against the Broncos was a mirage. Seahawks will be bad this year. They are not a good football team.
Did I tell you guys how much I love Jimmy G, though? Did I tell you guys that? I absolutely. I'm such a fan of Jimmy G. I'm glad he's back, and
he never went anywhere.
Onward and upward.
I want to say one thing to Cody's previous statement. I don't necessarily think that the Seahawks winning week 1 was a mirage. One, I think the Niners are actually, they are a good team.
Say that again.
Legit, they're a good team. Yeah. Number 2, the Denver Broncos, they're not really that good of a team either.
Too.
So
they'll be good Sunday night though.
Hope not.
Oh yeah, Sunday.
Sunday night,
Yeah,
I mean, they're gonna show up.
Yeah.
They're gonna show up.
Mile high.
Russell
Wilson
Wilson,
is not gonna look
he
bad
does
2 games
not
in a row.
lose against the Niners. We know this.
But he's also not going to look bad for like overall the Broncos team is like I think Seahawks are not obviously a great team, but they're like an average middle of the tier pack team.
I think all football teams right now are, except for the Bills and the Chiefs, are all pretty average.
Every team is bad.
Every
in
team,
the NFL.
every team is like,
I mean, that's kind of the NFL in general. It feels like half the time is like a bunch of like 3 or 4 really good teams at the top, and then just everybody else fighting for the middle ground to be the best 9 and 8 team in all of football.
absolutely. And I love how we supposed to be talking about Topps Chorme. We went straight into football.
We love it.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get back to more football.
Yeah, we're gonna get back into more football, but yeah, let's just talk right about Topps. I know you've already heard about what has happened. The SPs, Julio Rodriguez, Bobby Witt, who the other guys were missing? Like
Hunter Green was in there.
Torkelson.
C.J. Abram and Spencer Torkelson.
yeah, so there was 5 SPs that were not inserted in the product. Clearly, it was the buildup over the weekend. C-Rad painted that perfect picture early on in the show. Customers were angry. They were upset. They were upset with Topps, and I'll give you the timeline. This is funny how this whole thing went down from a breaker side of things. Is we were getting the heat on that, and then the heat was directed at Topps. Topps releases a statement at 9 p.m. Pacific time, pretty much on Monday night.
Pretty much midnight.
After,
Coast.
a majority of football fans have probably already passed out from the 2 football games that were on Monday night. And the news drops and the comments go crazy. So now, instead of a lot of hate towards Topps, which there still was, it became, now the breakers are just going to keep the packs.
Well, breakers and card shops. It was one of the few instances in this industry where I saw a lot of backlash towards card shops.
Yeah, I mean, one of the comments right now, you can see it. It's at 1,200 or 1,200 comments, I should say, on the Facebook, which is a lot. That's a lot of comments for our hobby. And this is the dumbest idea I've ever heard, so most of these will go to breakers. Oh, gee, thanks for making this right, thieves. And then just a lot of like, you guys suck, so no SPs in retail. Let's hope breakers actually give cards to people. Let's read that one again. Let's hope breakers actually give cards to people as a blanket statement. So
The internet, man. That's all I'm going to say. The internet is the Wild West.
And just some wild accusations and assumptions about what breakers as a whole or even card shops were going to do with these silver packs that
I mean,
were supposed to be in the boxes.
honestly, I'll tell you right now, and I think everybody's going to agree with me. I would prefer for those 5 players to be in the product.
that would
Yep.
be perfect.
That would be nice.
That would be great.
Absolutely.
It didn't happen, so we obviously have a problem. There's only a handful of ways you can fix this problem. Got to give Topps credit for going out and, honestly, I don't think they would do this, but they could have been completely silent about this and go, hey, it's in there. It's in there. We don't know where it's at. We made a lot of this product. There's a lot of it out there. There could be distributors holding on to it. Who knows?
And these
they
are-
didn't have to come out and say anything. They basically did their best to get in front of it in a timely manner, try to figure out a solution, and they're going to rely on their partners to help them through
Fulfill.
this problem.
I mean-
and that's what we are here for. We are kind of the liaison between the manufacturers and the collectors.
So
it's-
yeah, exactly. I mean, and I'm just befuddled. I'm going to be reading more of these comments.
Why don't you just spend the whole show reading the comments?
It actually might be really good to do
Don't
that.
have enough time. We would be here until 3 a.m.
My whole point is like, if you're breaking with somebody that's not going to give you packs on your fulfilled, your orders, then don't break with them anymore. And if you're breaking with them, shame on you. There's plenty of breakers that are doing things the right way. I released a statement that Cody saw me. It took me like 2 hours to film because I wasn't reading right.
Got to get it right.
And I had to get it right. And, what we decided is obviously the packs are going to come in. I think we did almost 20 breaks. So there was 20 cases we did over the course of Friday through the weekend. So we're going to get the allotted packs, and then we're going to basically open them again. We're going to email everybody. We're going to schedule them as soon as we get them. Now, we don't know when we're going to get them. It could be 30 days, could be 60 days, could be 90 days, hopefully sooner than later. We're going to schedule them, let everybody know, and we're going to break it just like a break. So if I pull a Julio Rodriguez, it's going to go to the Mariners spot in case number 1. And I put this statement out, and I got like a lot of praise, and that's great. I like that, but like, I think it was the only thing to do. Like you don't need to praise me because that's like what should happen.
Well, I mean, I think it's the obvious way of handling the situation, and I mean, we look at it. I mean, we are putting a stop on doing breaks right now of Topps Chrome because we don't want to bite off more than we can chew. It's going to be an overhaul to, go back and figure this out and then perform these. We don't want to spend a full day just doing silver packs. We're still going to have releases and a schedule that we're going to have to do. I mean, whenever it happens. But we didn't want to put ourselves in a position where it was going to be a ton of extra work. It will be extra work, but we'll figure it out. Like, we have everything cataloged, everything like, I mean, we have a database of everybody who bought each spot and what team they have. Like, it's really only going to take, a couple hours to basically do it. So it's not that big of a deal.
But that's the experience you guys deserve. Yeah. Anybody that buys into our breaks deserves that experience to have those opened up as an addition. Breakers who are keeping them, breakers that claim they don't get them, let's call these people out because these people need to be out of the hobby if they're going to take these extra packs and profit off of them, because that is not the way to do business. That is not the way to take care of the customer. That is not a way to show people our hobby. So
let us know. We'll do a call out.
Yeah,
we'll sit here for 45 minutes and just call out every shady breaker.
I have a question. These guys that made comments like, these are just the breakers and the shops are gonna keep these. Do you think that's them as a customer had experience with a breaker or a card shop where like they would do something like this, or is that them just making assumptions?
I think it's assumption.
I think there's been obviously a few bad apples, as we've seen videos on lately, as we just ran the Platinum Card Breaks video, or we talked about it the other day. And I think that, one obviously bad apple in the bunch gives all of the people that work hard and have been doing this for 12 years that love this hobby, that gives us all a bad name. And, I mean, breakers are quickly getting to scam territory. Is on this Topps comment. Topps, we shorted you on this stuff, but likely you're only seeing through breakers, but don't worry, we'll reward the breakers. Like, that's what people are saying. Like, we're not being rewarded. It's going to cost us like an extra every break that we did, because you got to figure, let's just say there's worst case scenario for shipping cost. There's 24 different spots because there's 2 cards a pack.
Everything said and done, it would cost us a couple $1,000.
We're going to lose a couple $1,000 on this deal, but it's because we have to take care of the customer. So we're not getting rewarded by any means. But if somebody is selling the packs or does not include the packs in the breaks, you got to call them out, because this is a mistake and it needs to be corrected. And the end consumer is the one that needs to benefit. That's it. The end consumer needs to be made whole. And that's the whole point of, a mess up and making the mess up right. I mean, I feel like we did the bare minimum, and people were saying that we went above and beyond. I was like, I think we should have done more, honestly. And then people were like, free break? And I'm like, well, maybe. But, like, that's the least we can do for having people put trust in us and us not knowing that there wasn't any. And I know it's not our fault, and it's, Topps' printing facility messed up. But, that's the least that we can do is to take care of the customer. And the narrative needs to be changed, though, on breakers.
I also want to say, like, without these 5 SPs, there's still value in the product.
Oh, yeah,
like
100%.
I mean, we stopped selling it not because people don't want it and we don't see value in the product. We stopped it because, honestly, we don't want to be answering questions constantly about when the silver packs are going to happen. We're already getting, those emails are already coming in. We don't have that information. And I hate answering an email saying, I don't know. Yeah. But we really don't. So I don't want to add to that.
Right.
And I know the first thing that, and honestly, like, doing breaks, like, those 5 teams are premium teams, probably not going to sell for as much, and rightfully so. But there still is autos of those guys. And there still is a ton of autos, tons of color. The product is still worth whatever the market dictates. I mean, I know it came down a little bit. I actually think if it hovers around $200 for a hobby box, I think it's a great buy. I think it's a great buy.
Sitting
right
at $275 on a hobby box on blowout cards currently.
Yeah, I think I've seen it cheaper in a couple different places. Online.
Also, I want to temper people's expectations about these SP base cards specifically, because Topps obviously put this on the official checklist, so they should have been there. But they also, at the same time as putting them on the official checklist, they gave us the pack odds. And the pack odds state that you're supposed to get one of these 5 SPs once every 80 cases or so. So even with those 12, so a 12-box hobby case, right? We're going to get 12 silver packs for that case. There's all 12 of those packs still might not have, most likely will not have an SP rookie.
Mm.
We could have with those pack odds, we very easily could have went through
Our whole
every single box that we had in stock and not hit one.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And these are like super short printed. Like I am not 100% sure that they're still not out there. Like how much of this product is still sitting in distributors' warehouses? How much does Topps still have? How much does Fanatics have at their like warehouses? Like this product, I would say very little bit in the grand scheme of things has been ripped yet.
Right.
So what if they start popping up before these silver packs come
Like
out?
I said, I would think that they would have done their due diligence and went to the printing facility and saw the cards not being printed. That's what I'm thinking.
I hope so.
Without an official statement there, but I would think that if the printing facility said yes, we included them, then they would have just said you guys got to wait to see them. But I think they went there and they were like,
Hope so.
Yeah,
Hope so.
Yeah.
But so we've been doing this a long time. What would you I know the obvious one is what would you compare this situation to in the hobby? And I think we're all probably going to have the same thing, the second wave of national treasures with the Teddy Bridgewater, Odell Beckham redemptions. Remember, what year was it? Was it 14?
14.
Yeah, 14. Everybody ripped that 14, and there was an issue with it was like boxes, right? They couldn't get the NT boxes, so they actually had a second wave, and that second wave had the Teddy Bridgewater and Odell Beckham redemptions.
Right.
And the first wave, we went I think it was like a month without seeing one of them hit
and
eBay.
then we started seeing
And then
them
we
later,
started
yeah.
seeing them.
But that product's produced on such a smaller scale, right?
Yeah.
So this could be obviously one for the record books here. But they didn't let people wait too long, I guess is the silver lining. To kick it back to Cody, would you think that they did right by the collectors by doing this?
Of course. Like, there's nothing else you could have done. I think we all can agree with that. Like, this is all you really could have done. It sucks that there's certain people who are going to get screwed over this. I guess in the long run, you just hope this type of mistake doesn't happen again. I know we had a mistake earlier this year with the fake auto. I don't know that there's a lot that one I feel like is a little easier maybe to slip through the cracks. So you'd like to see this stuff get stamped out before it hits the marketplace, before it goes out into people's hands in the long run. But I'll give him credit for getting ahead of it and trying to and making it right. But I think right now my main takeaway is let's just make sure this doesn't happen again. Like, you need to do something prior to that. And I have a good amount of confidence that they will figure out a way as Topps and Fanatics grows and grows, that they will have more control over this process
and
as
I think
well. Make sure it's right.
To that point, to go into some of the people that say, some of the narratives out there that they did this on purpose or they were planning on holding these back and doing something with them and now they got caught.
No.
You know how much money this is this is a 6 to 7 figure cost mistake on their part. Easily 6 figures, because you got to think, you got to print up all the packs, you got to send out all the packs, you got to print, there's a lot of Topps Chorme you're going to have to make packs for. So this is a huge mistake. So believe me, somebody's pocket is feeling it right now. And they will put in, hopefully, I would as a business owner, obviously our business is nowhere near the size as their business, but you would put in strict orders to not let this ever happen again.
Yeah. And also adding to what both of you guys were saying, to be fair to Topps as a company and now Fanatics, this type of SP base card for Topps Chorme, they've only tried it one other time. It was last year. So all the previous years of Topps Chorme, they've never had an SP base card to this extent where you get one in every cases. So they did it last year, and you could barely find any of those cards from last year's set on eBay. And then they did it again this year, and then they obviously they made the mistake this year, And so I wouldn't expect for them to do it to make the same mistake again.
Yeah.
Because I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because this is only the second year that they've tried to do these super short print base cards.
Yeah,
like
and
this.
you don't know what kind of deadlines this is affecting on other products. So I mean, it could be bigger than a 6-figure, 7-figure loss if you have to now put this to the forefront, print these before something else, and then delay everything else. So, but let's go ahead and move on to this week in the hobby. We got 2 new releases today. Gold Standard Football, which has been around since I can remember. It's a really fun release with 5 hits a box. Nice rookie patch autos. Kind of rings in the new year of the new releases with football. I mean, the new rookies, fully in their uniform now with patch autos. Always a fun release. And Chronicles Basketball from the 21-22 season. So all the popular Panini brands, kind of a mix of different sets. Which one are you looking forward to ripping the most, C-Rad, and tell us why?
Oh man, for me it's always Chronicles Basketball. I am a big fan of Chronicles every single year, and at the price point that it's at this year, I think it's going to be a really good rip, chasing those ultra rare like Gala inserts, number to 8 base cards that everybody wants everywhere.
That's still the biggest insert in that set, you think?
It's the biggest insert in that set, and it's also still one of the biggest rookie base card chases in basketball. Because it's only numbered to 8, and you can only find it obviously in this product, so it's still a very popular card within the basketball collecting community. But Gold Standard is also the staple every year that I look forward to. And I don't know, I haven't looked at the checklist yet, but I'm assuming they still also have those like really rare chases where you get like the diamond, the Super Bowl diamond, and the auto or something of like the big name.
Oh, for Gold Standards, yeah. I was gonna say Chronicles has Gala, Gold Standard, Limited, Plates and Patches, Timeless Treasures, and Titanium.
Is that Elements?
And Elements as well. Yeah. So any of these sets you think could be a standalone, or they're better served in
I've always said for the past 3 years, Phoenix. They can come out with, I know it's another Prism product to add to the line.
Come on, man.
But Phoenix is such a nice design. I think it can
is.
be a standalone.
Come
Like, they've done Recon and freaking, what's that other one?
Dude,
Flux,
not everything
dude.
needs to be shiny, bro.
But come on, if you're going to do Recon and Flux, you could do Phoenix. You could do Phoenix basketball, man.
And looking at the checklist here on Cardboard Connection, it looks like they're going to have an Asia set and lucky envelopes for Chronicles. And I know Panini needs to make that money, but I think we're past the parallel period. The team all selections have not done well.
At least
lately.
the non-numbered parallel era. I mean, like you're saying, like the Gala, and obviously like the super short print, like the Color Blast and the Kaboom.
No, those are great in the hobby. I'm talking about this.
Great.
They're going to make a team all version only.
Yeah.
But if the thing is, okay, I'm split about that. If they're going to make a team all version, please let that exclusive parallel at least be numbered. They've been putting out some team all releases that don't have any numbered cards in them, and that's just wrong, man.
Bleh.
That's
But
just wrong.
we won't see the team all stuff for a while.
We won't.
Yeah, you won't see it hit domestic like stores and breakers for like what, 8 months probably.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then here's another thing. They also have the base Prism update in Chronicles.
Yeah.
So you're going to get Tyrese Halliburton on the Pacers, which is probably going to be the chase within there. Ben Simmons on the Nets. I don't think a lot of people care.
Nobody cares.
Trenton Wofford on the Blazers. I'm assuming these are rookies that didn't make it in. Jericho Sims, Knicks. Dwayne Washington, Pacers. Jock Landale, Spurs. Keon Johnson, Blazers. James Harden on the Sixers. I feel like James Harden's been in a bunch of Chronicles updates like recently. He always gets traded somewhere during the season.
Yeah.
So
another thing to mention about Gold Standard is they have the cousin of Gold Standard in there for football, like as a chase of Opulence hits and base. So there's Opulence patch autos and Opulence base cards in Gold Standard football.
Oh, really?
Because they don't make a standalone Opulence football like they do in basketball.
Oh, that's cool.
So they put that as another element of chase in Gold Standard.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I actually really are pretty fond of both of these sets, so it should be a fun week of breaks at mojobreak.com. Go ahead and get your spots. You could also go to mojobreakshop.com if you want to buy a box, and I'm sure we'll be live on Loop and whatnot doing this stuff as well. So let's get into this week in the hobby. Aaron Judge is, killing me because I'm a Barry Bonds guy, and I keep seeing my guy Barry Bonds in the news, and it's because Aaron Judge is flirting with the record, as y'all know. He's up to 60 home runs. Tell us about this fan that caught this ball, and what happened with it, Cody?
So, of course, last night, as we're recording this, Aaron Judge, in fact, you could be listening to this on Thursday, and Aaron Judge is already at 62, but nonetheless, as we're recording this, he is at 60 home runs. That ties Babe Ruth for second in the American League, second American League all time. A 20-year-old caught the ball, or really not caught the ball, just came out alive in the giant scrum in left field to get the ball. And instead of keeping that ball and, I don't know, going to his local,
Going to Golden,
his local Golden auctions.
going to the pawn shop right outside of Yankee Stadium and flipping it real quick. All of these solid options. He gave it to Aaron Judge, saying, "No, this is yours. This is your moment." Judge and gave him and his friends some
What are you guys
autograph.
clapping? You guys hate money or what?
Yeah, the buffoon.
I think it's
absolute.
dumb.
What are you
I
doing?
think it's a class
I
act.
think it's the right
I
move
think it's
to
a
make,
class
man.
act.
You
I
want
like
to
it.
talk about this? Isn't even getting caught holding the bag.
you hit the home
This
run?
is dropping the bag.
Well-
This is throwing the bag into the Hudson River and never seeing it again.
Aaron Judge he's the one who achieved it. He's the one who hit the ball.
Do you not think that Judge is gonna take care of this kid like how Tom Brady took care of his? That
Probably
cousin?
not.
Well, he did take care of him and his friends got autographed bats, autographed balls. I'm
Great.
probably going to get tickets to the game. But
it's worth it.
when you see what the estimated prices were for this ball,
But you
was
get
it
it. You
worth
get
it?
you leave that game with your dignity. What's up? Like
So you could have
Dignity don't pay the bills.
So you could have a Lamborghini, or you could meet Aaron Judge. What are you gonna do?
Okay, let me ask you this:
what color?
if the kid keeps the ball, don't Judge and his people, like Tom Brady and his people, went and go and get it anyways and
No.
take it from him, or no?
It's rightfully his.
Not necessarily. Yeah.
Okay. I just always assume that they're gonna find a way to get that ball back, just like the guy got the. Tom
I mean,
Brady
I guess
ball back.
you could get some pressure. You know, none of us have been in that position.
Yeah,
at
you're
least,
gonna- they're
you
gonna-
know.
But you're gonna
have a lot of
you're
pressure.
gonna get a lot. I mean, if he keeps that ball, and everybody
By
would
New
justify
Yorkers.
it. He keeps that ball and he's like, "No, I'm waiting. I'm gonna wait to see what I get out of it." There's a lot of people that would justify that and go, "Okay, I get it." There's also gonna be a lot of hate.
A lot of
like,
hate.
That ain't yours to keep. Like that's not your achievement. You give it to Aaron
That
Judge.
feels like such a new phenomenon, honestly. And look, I'm half joking. Good for the kid. That's fine. Whatever. But I don't feel like when Bonds was breaking these records, when the Bonds home run went into right center field.
Dollar
Now,
signs.
circumstances were different because Bonds is much more vilified than Aaron Judge was. So there probably wasn't like a, hey, let's give it to him. He deserved it.
Barry's a good guy.
Yeah, good dude.
I mean, well, Doug would be like, "Here you go, Barry."
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
that's true. That's
So I understand the circumstances are different, but like this
Give me your phone
wasn't
number.
this wasn't a thing like 10 years ago where it's like, nah, you deserve it. You deserve it, baseball player who makes $30 million a year more than me, who could be getting life-changing money from this ball. So I respect it. It's fine. Good for him. It's his decision, but also, there were rumors that this could have gone for six figures.
Yeah,
Bro,
what's some of the chatter here? I see that you got some notes from Ken Golden and some few other people in the industry. What did they say about the estimated value of this ball?
Yeah, the estimated value, this was from Action Network. Ken Golden was saying the 60th he believed was worth $150,000. I think that's crazy because a few weeks ago we saw that the Bonds ball. Now again, it was 2009, 2010 when it sold. Went for like $500,000. So the fact that this is $150,000 and it's not even a record breaker,
And he's a Yankee.
it's because he's a Yankee. Yeah. The 62nd, and then the final would be worth $500,000. Jeff Wolf of Iconic Auctions saying he believed the 60th and 61st will command low six figures. 62nd will be a high six-figure item, not seven. And then Sotheby's saying $100,000 for 60, and then number 62, $400,000 to $600,000. The final ball worth at least $1 million.
Well, listen, we're gonna get to see what these other people do with these balls that they catch for 61 and 62. Am I right? 63,
Yeah.
64,
How many games
maybe.
is there
huh?
left? Like
65,
12?
66.
There's 2 weeks of games left, so yeah, he's
Maybe.
going to pass. This
Like, who's gonna
pretty
catch
easily.
ball number 80 from Aaron Judge?
Let's go out there.
There won't be
Well.
an 80.
Let's go out there. Let's go out
He's
there.
gonna
and
hit 3 grand slams in the same game.
All of a sudden, the outfield tickets are now worth more than the lower box. So
Oh, easily. I was actually looking
Well,
at
actually,
StubHub.
I mean,
Wild.
I think you need to catch the ball to break even. To be honest with you.
Yeah, there's point. See, that's the thing. That's just it's just basic economics at this point.
Do the Yankees have a trip down here anytime soon?
No,
probably not,
they don't.
No late
anymore.
late couple week giant trip.
No, we missed our opportunity.
Didn't they go to Oakland?
They already were in Oakland about a month ago, I want to say. Yeah. So.
Yeah, there's going to be Zach Hampel's got his tickets all lined up, I'm sure. And
Yeah.
Now what if he's the guy who catches it? Do you think he keeps it or does he sell it? And can't that guy gets backlash for everything.
He better give it to Judge. I'm all for all of them getting the bag.
Everybody can get the bag except for him.
Except for one guy.
I know. I just saw that video of him taking the ball from the kid. A player threw, during practice.
In Usher, there was a viral video a couple weeks back that an usher in Colorado was telling him get out of this area. It was in the handicap seats, and basically told him you cannot be in this area to catch balls. And he goes off and says you're gonna look bad. The usher then was someone approached him at a game the other night. Usher said that guy stole a ball from a kid, so he was already on.
So a player
on
threw
my
a
bad
ball
list.
to the kid after warming up, and the ball dropped out of the kid's glove, and Zach Hampel
And he took it
up.
Come on, bro.
Good dude. Good
Just
dude.
picked it up
Great
and
guy.
walked
Not
off.
a man.
And what did he say? It wasn't his ball.
Yeah, wasn't the ball. Fell out of his glove, not his ball. Sorry.
What's wrong with that guy?
I don't know.
Why?
It's the age we live in. Everyone wants to feel famous for whatever reasons, even if it's being just an
But
absolute
he-
maniac.
Why do you need
But
that
he
ball,
steals-
though?
he
He's
steals them from kids.
had substantial longevity
Right.
for what he does. He is talked about a lot.
Yeah.
And it's never anything good.
And now you've got two concurrent home run chases happening with him and obviously Pujols at the chase for 700.
Where does he go?
And and that's the fear is oh no, he's going to be at one of these games. What do we do?
He's going to figure out how to be at both of them.
This is our version of Bud Selig trying to be oh God, how do I approach Bonds breaking the record? How do we approach Zach Hampel catching the 700th home run from Albert Pujols? It's not good. Not a stain to
To be
the
fair,
game.
I was reading about him yesterday, and there were some stands that were saying that he goes out of his way to give kids free balls in his collection, stuff like that, and blah blah blah. I don't know if it's true, but there is a good side to him apparently. But I don't know how you can spin a ball that was thrown to a kid that drops it and he takes it.
He's done some good stuff. I mean, he's brought kids out there to kind of show them how he does it and how to maneuver and try to figure out where the ball is going to go. And he's taught kids how to do that, and he's brought kids with him to do it. I mean, he doesn't do it's not all bad. He does get a bad rap. He is
the king of catching home run balls, right?
Yes.
I mean, there's
Yes, that
undisputed,
is his
right? There's
thing.
nobody.
Home run balls, foul balls. That is his thing. He loves catching balls. There's no.
He
other way
loves
I was gonna
catching
go about
balls.
that. I just walked right into it.
Yeah,
Stepped right in.
I saw it hit your thoughts right when it was coming out there. Saw it
There's
compute.
very few. I mean, he loves balls.
Yeah.
Loves
Well,
catching them.
Zach
loves running them
Campbell
down.
loves balls.
only guy that if he catches Judge's 60-second, please, for the love of God, give it to Aaron Judge.
What is the most famous that he has in his collection?
Ooh, I'd have to look it up. I know he's got some pretty big ones. I'd have to look that up.
And
Now-
he actually, it's gonna hurt you. He has an Allen and Ginter card.
Yeah, he does. That's right.
Yeah,
Jeez.
he got in before you.
I just got to be a villain then, huh?
Yeah,
I got to
that's
be
true.
a real villain.
Yeah,
I mean,
start
there's
taking
a lot
things
of
from
divisive people in Allen and Ginter, people who get who are not universally beloved in there. So
Dave Portnoy's in there,
right?
so-
That's what I mean. It's whether you love him or hate him, he's in
Yeah,
there.
I get why Portnoy is
I mean,
in there,
yeah.
though.
Yeah,
You
he's
gotta-
very famous.
You got to see
but
what
there's a divisive figure.
his
nonetheless.
his autograph out of Ginter goes for a lot of money. I think I bought it. I bought one for what, $300? I think people were asking
Thousands.
thousands, 5, 6.
He was
7 grand.
actually in the set, not an in-person auto.
He was in the set. He was one of the mini framed autos.
Okay, sweet.
And he had base cards that people wanted him getting signed, and those were
person.
going
Those
for
are
money.
worth a lot of money
Yeah.
too.
So let's look at some of the Aaron Judge cards, which I believe we have one of these Aaron Judge first Bowmans somewhere.
We got a gold one?
No, wish we did. I wouldn't be here today. We'd be somewhere else.
We'd be
On
in
an
New York
island.
trying to
Being-
catch that ball.
Yeah.
Trying to actually I'm there to box out Zach Hampel.
Yeah,
I'm here just to prevent. I'm just running him down.
doing the Lord's work.
That's right. But 4K for a first Bowman base, up 199% over the last year. Base chromes, 440, up 146%, and a $25,000 gold auto, which actually seems kind of low. In the grand scheme of like the Fernando Tatises and the Juan Sotos of the world,
Now
25,000 still seems low. Now I know not everybody has 25,000 to throw around in a card.
I've seen that comment. People are like, remember, I've seen like some of the recent sales and stuff online, and people are like, these are still cheaper than some of what these prospects go for.
I think that there's a lot of these have not sold recently. I think some of these are pretty, like the most recent are like July, August. I don't know if you've seen his September right now is, I want to say the 4th best hitting month of all time, minimum 75 plate appearances.
Nice.
The other 3 that are better are Barry Bonds' 3 separate months in 2004, which that's one of the most legendary seasons of all time.
Great.
Pretty good.
Perfect timing for his off season. It's couldn't be any better for him, right?
You hear that sound? Oh, that's me backing up the truck.
Yep.
Back up that Brinks truck.
You're backing
Bring
up
it
the
on.
truck.
And
Yep,
it's gonna be
backing
more
up
than
the
what
truck.
it's gonna be more than what he was asking for originally. Obviously,
yeah,
right?
Don't sign him, Giants.
235.
Don't do it.
Do whatever.
Don't do it.
please.
$500,000,
Cody.
10-year deal.
I know it's not my money. It's not Cody's money, but don't listen to Cody.
Larry Bear, if you're listening, thanks for listening to the podcast. Whatever you need, whatever it takes,
you don't want the
sign
Giants to sign him
Aaron
for a
Judge.
crazy amount of
Do
money.
it.
I mean, we're talking
so
like
what would you-
$400 million.
What would you do to get Aaron Judge on the Giants within your power? Would you name your kid Aaron Judge? Would you name
Oh, if it meant having Aaron Judge
for
on
like
the
10
team,
years? Yeah. What would you do?
Name a child Aaron.
Or just Aaron
No,
Judge?
Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge. Ooh.
Like middle name Judge.
No,
Aaron-
The whole first name is just Aaron Judge.
I don't. That might be a bit
if
too
you want
much.
to get weird, you could like hyphenate it like Aaron Judge.
Oh gosh, I don't think I could do it. That would be too. That'd be
Your
too
wife
weird.
probably would not be into that at all.
No, that'd be very
How
strange.
about middle name Judge?
Middle name Judge might be it. That
that's
might be
doable.
negotiable.
Yeah.
That's
How
probably
about,
negotiable.
how about having to wear a judge robe for a year into work?
for an entire year?
Yeah.
Not even a question.
Okay.
Of course.
Wow.
Okay.
Is that Dan's looking like I think it's against company policy.
Talk to HR.
Well, I mean, he'd have like something else underneath it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta,
Oh yeah, wait a minute. I didn't know I'd be nude under
well,
this.
no,
thing.
that's-
I'm just trying to make sure you wouldn't be. I'm like, wait a second. Like, he has everything else on, right?
Would you get a small Aaron Judge tattoo somewhere on your body for 10 years of Aaron Judge?
Anywhere, and it doesn't have to be. Well, no. I mean, the judge. Well,
What
where
about the
is
Judge
it
logo of
hidden?
Him hitting, dude.
Is the tattoo hidden?
Yeah.
Well, you could just put Judge, and then people might think it might be Judge Reinhold too. I don't know.
Judge,
Yeah,
I've
great.
got a great Judge
great.
Reinhold tattoo.
Great.
All right, you can get Aaron Judge for 10 years, but you got to have Judge Reinhold as the coach for 10 years.
Fine.
Is
We
it
don't.
like,
I mean, we don't know. He might be able to put it together. We're not sure.
Is it a real thing, like, or is that just something like all fans are hopeful right now that
No.
they can sign Aaron Judge?
For the backstory, I think we've talked about it a couple times, but this is the fantasy for Giants fans because Linden, California, born and raised Northern California, grew up a Giants fan. He's on record saying my favorite player growing up was Rich Aurelia, which that means you're really a Giants fan.
Yeah.
I believe there was a interview with him during the middle of the pandy where he was in his living room, and there is 2 jerseys behind him. One is his, the other is a signed Buster Posey jersey. At the All-Star game, talked about how much he loved playing with Dusty Baker because he grew up a huge Giants fan with Dusty as the manager. It's happening. Book it. Back up the Brinks truck. $335 million, $40 million a year. I don't care what it is. Sign.
Yeah, but see that, but
man.
that's not Farhan's going to put all that in a computer. It's going to you could have 38 guys for that. He's be like, I'll take
The
38
owners
guys.
need to step in. The owners need to step in and say this is a business decision. We are a distant third to the Warriors and the 49ers in this market
are
right
just
now.
never gonna
Back
be
it up.
good because we can't afford anybody else.
Yeah, but we'll get to see 40 home runs a year that go far.
You got to
Our home runs.
You got to build it up somewhere. You
Maybe
start
they'll start
with
that
Judge.
rule where like you hit a 500-foot home run and it counts as like 4 runs. That's how you do it.
That's how we do it.
That's how you do
That's
it.
how we do it.
Or you have targets out there, and you hit a target, you get like a bonus.
How much
A
Judge
bonus
merch
run.
would we be selling, dude? You know, how
we're
many
gonna
jerseys?
have the wigs. We're gonna have gavels. We're gonna have jerseys.
The wigs?
Yeah, the judge wigs that they have in the little judges'
Oh, I thought
chambers
you
in
meant
right field.
like to reenact. I thought, isn't he like high and tight?
Yeah, he is high
and tight.
although the prediction is he joins the Giants day one of spring training. Huge
Mustache.
beard, big mustache, huge beard, long
Can he
hair.
even grow one?
I don't know.
Looks like he
Hey,
has trouble.
okay, so I'll tell you guys this. Don't tell this to TJ.
He ain't
But
going to Oakland.
But if you guys get Aaron Judge and the A's move out of Oakland, I'm gonna become a Giants fan.
All right.
Nice. Yep. Hey, I don't doubt that.
Yep.
That's what I would do.
I wear the 99 jersey to work every day.
That's right.
Yeah, because I mean they're gonna
love
bring
to hear
Kogo Chris back for year 25, so do the Bernie lean in the outfield.
Love the Bernie lane. I do think that, by the way, going back to his cards, I think he is a little. It's crazy that I think he's just undervalued before this season. But there's also a lot of these big cards. I know the Superfractor sold back in, I want to say, May or June for about $324,000. Got to imagine that's going to be, you
Double,
could see
triple.
it flipped in the offseason. I think a lot of these cards are going to get flipped the moment he hits to 62.
I feel like
think you see
his
that.
cards were going for more his rookie season than they
That's
are
what I'm
now.
saying.
Yeah.
Well, 2013 Bowman, that's an old man Bowman. I mean, none of the young kids are
So
collecting the old.
Yeah, I
man.
mean, it's so old they
Old
even
man
put
Bowman.
first Bowman on it.
Yeah. it's-
I was gonna say that's the range that his Superfractor sold in May. You said that's the range when, remember, before the explosion in the hobby, that the Trout sold for around 400 for his Superfractor. So
I mean, we got to remember he had some subpar seasons for the last couple years. I think that got him off the
Injuries,
radar. Yeah, injuries, and that's always a concern.
He put it together at the right time, didn't he?
Seemed like he did.
It happens every time. that last year of the contract, they just remember how to play.
Figure it out.
yep.
Well,
Lamar.
let's get in. It is time for another week. This is now going into week 3 of the Mojobreak Blitz. All football card talk, all football talk. Where do we start with a week 2 that was off the rocker?
You wanna lead this
Best
segment?
quarterback right now in the NFL is Tua, which I got to give props to Cody over there for naming Tua as one of his breakout candidates for week 2. Seems like the breakout candidate. I know it's only 2 weeks in, but Dolphins look great. They've got a big matchup this week against the Bills, so we'll see how that goes down. That's gonna be hobby saliva all over that.
Primetime game? Is that not
No, I think it's a 10 a.m.
Not.
game.
It's going to be like game of the week, I'd imagine, on CBS or wherever it's going to be. But yeah,
Jesus.
not a primetime game.
Well, I mean, you can't bump the Niners off the 5 o'clock
Nah,
game.
and Monday.
I think you can.
Monday night, we all want to watch Danny Dimes and the New York Giants take on the
Bro,
Dallas Cowboys. I mean,
feel
we all want to watch
I feel like
that.
the Thursday game and the Monday night game this week are like I was like.
What is the third? What is going to be on Prime this week?
I have to double check, but the
It's
Thursdays,
like the
I think it's a
two teams you don't want to watch.
Yeah.
Really.
So the Raiders and the Rams are going to play.
I
each
wish
other.
I would love to watch the Raiders and Rams.
Raiders
on
fans
Thursday.
really good matchup.
I do want to send a little pour out my 40-ouncer for the Trey Lance collectors right now that are feeling it. I know I'm feeling it. I just hit an Eminence number to 5 in a card break from DA Card World, and I was looking at 8,000 and it's probably down to maybe 1,000 or 2,000 now. Now, I mean, it's not over yet, but it's
not over yet.
It's a big hit to young Trey, and
Time to buy.
maybe a good time to buy.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't,
I don't-
but maybe somebody.
Now
out
that
there
we
would want.
haven't hit the floor yet. Honestly, I hate to say we have not hit the floor with Trey.
Because there's a lot out there right now.
Because
probably
people,
still.
especially if because I think the 49ers are still very capable of being a wild card team with Jimmy G in there at QB.
No, Super Bowl team.
I don't
You
think
know
the
who's
ceiling
not
is
going
as
to
high.
sign with the Niners next year? Jimmy G.
No way. It's definitely over next year. It's
Well,
definitely
if you're
over.
playing on if you're playing with the contract status you guys just talked about with Lamar Jackson and now Aaron Judge.
Oh, Jimmy G's going to put it
Jimmy
together.
G's going to have a
He gets
season.
knocked right out of the division.
That's fine. I'll take a Super Bowl. I'll take a Super Bowl champion this year for a 4-13 season next year. I'll do it.
You're not getting a Super Bowl. They're not. No.
Yeah, it could be. Did you see that defense out there?
Good
Did
day.
you see my man Bosa? He's defensive player of the year, maybe MVP
I don't
out
even
there.
think you're going against an NFL team.
The Seahawks?
Yeah,
Well,
barely.
with that strategy, then it's gonna be like 49-0 against the Broncos on Sunday. Then
No, you're going against Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson turns it on against the Niners.
Let's
you
ride.
know this.
Let's ride.
You know this.
He's in a different division. He's just playing
Yeah,
against
different conference.
He's
but
playing
I mean,
against. He's playing for 64-yard field goal attempts.
Let's ride.
Apparently.
Let's ride.
So that's what he's out there playing. But let's talk about the week 2 stars.
Yeah, well, I think top of the list top 2 on the list are 2 guys who played each other on Sunday in Baltimore. Tua and Lamar Jackson put on a show. Both of these guys kind of went into the season as sort of like on the, I guess if we're doing like tiers of quarterbacks in the hobby, Lamar to me feels like tier 2, tier 1. To me, he's like tier 1.
Tier 1.
Are we saying tier 1? The bottom rung of tier 1? How many are in there?
Are you talking about hobby?
Hobby. The
Oh,
hobby.
he's definitely not tier 1.
He's not tier 1.
No, he may be tier
I
3.
guess I should
Depends on
ask you
how
guys.
depends on how big tier 1 is.
Tier 3.
Yeah.
He's tier 3?
Oh, I don't know
Yeah.
about tier 3. He
I'm
was,
saying-
tier 2.
If I've got like 10
four guys
how
in
many-
each tier.
Tier 2.
Okay, I thought
I
you
don't
meant-
know. It
I
depends.
thought there was 10 guys in each
it really
tier,
is
but
up to you guys. It's like it's 5 guys in that era in that
good
area.
burgers.
Tier 1 is Mahomes, Brady,
Mahomes,
Allen,
Josh Allen,
Herbert. Yep.
Burrow.
Nah, Burrow's tier 2 now.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
but
That's
before
all
the
I'm
season
asking. I'm
started.
not
No.
talking about on the field. We're just talking about card wise.
You
Only
can't,
cards,
you can't
guys.
put Herbert in tier 1 and not put Burrow in tier 1.
I think you have to.
It's week
You
2.
have to.
Right.
It's week 2.
Yeah.
Um,
I
he's a
think
man
in tier
out there.
one.
No. What has Herbert done besides?
It just looks good out there, man.
Being
He's
hurt.
getting the job done.
He looks good.
Rib injury and all, still slinging them.
That's right. Gonna make that MVP run even more memorable.
Oh, I forgot.
So who's okay?
We got Charger fans.
That's right. Go
I
Bolts.
forgot.
Go Bolts.
Yeah.
Tough
That's my
lo-
AFC
tough-
team.
tough loss this
What's
week.
the update on him? Is he
Tough
playing
loss.
this week?
Yeah,
Or?
he'll play.
He's God.
He'll play.
Wow.
There's a
Yeah.
meme.
They're
on
changing the
on
football
old
logo to
Twitter where, like,
Herbert.
Yeah.
It's like Herbert laying down, and there's like some dude handing him some barbecue sauce. He's like, he's all here for your ribs.
It was the one thing that at the end of the game after he tried to lead them back to victory and of course Gerald Everett, former Ram, just doesn't know how to run a route because he's gassed, which should have came out. Should have been better shape for the offseason. But anyways, he's walking off the field and you could see him dangling his arm and everybody's trying to dab him up. And he's just trying to get off the field like, man, I'm hurting. You know what I mean? You can see the one arm's kind of limp.
Let me live.
Yeah, let me get out of here. But
Yeah.
everybody's like, good game. He's like, come on, man. But
Yeah, but Tua, though, putting on that show in the second half, and I feel like he's one of those guys that was very much one of the big make or break guys in the hobby. In general, I feel like he is one of the more divisive names, not just among collectors, but among fans in general. And I think there's still a lot of people who are like, cool, one game, who cares? It's one game. Do it week to week. But then you also see like the stats that got put up of like 6 touchdowns and that many yards and
Yeah.
that young.
he has the best winning percentage of 2020 quarterbacks.
I don't know how his receivers were getting open like they were getting.
they have, like, the
it was-
fastest guys.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
Fast
get, I
and a
get,
bad secondary.
I get that, but I was like, man, I'm like, Tyreek Hill. You can't just. There wasn't like a defender within 10 yards of him multiple times. I'm like, what? You're just letting this guy run around?
Yeah.
And then Waddle too. I mean,
Waddle's
Waddle.
wide open. I mean, let's ease up on Tua. I mean,
then-
I think I could have threw for 400 yards. I mean, let's be
So,
honest.
so I should ask. So, the more impressive performance, even though they lost to you, was it Lamar Jackson in that game, who also
Lamar
had
Jackson.
119 yards rushing,
Yeah, I think he had
318
like a
passing,
70-something yard touchdown for
yeah.
a run.
I
4 total
I personally
touchdowns.
like them evenly, and both of them the first 2 weeks have showed that why they should deserve to be in the conversation or in the early part of the season.
Tua's got better weapons around him. Lamar, I feel like, has to do it himself.
Lamar with Waddle and Tyreek Hill would be. It wouldn't even be a question.
I don't
Who would
know.
be better.
I don't know. I mean, Mike McDaniel on the way out of SF was like, "Let me grab some bargain. Let me grab some guys from the closet, like
Actually,
like Sherfield and Craycraft."
If you look at that team, there is a lot of former
Yeah.
Niners
There
just like
is.
sprinkled in there. You're
Shows
like,
how good of a deep
there-
roster talent
There's
we have.
I think they have like an offensive line. Is it Tomlinson?
Yep.
Yep.
He's
Lincoln
out there,
Thomas
like-
is there.
Mostert.
Mostert. Yep.
Yeah. River Craycraft got a
Well,
touchdown.
yeah. Now you're just making up.
Sher- Sherfield- Trent
You're
Sherfield.
making up. You're making up former
No,
players.
they
that
got
were on
touchdowns.
there.
He
It's the
had
key,
six
it's
of
the
them.
Key and Peele
He had
sketch.
6 touchdowns.
I know. He
Yeah,
did everybody.
Who?
Sherfield and Craycraft both got touchdowns.
In their not 6. You said 6.
well, no, there was 6 touchdowns total.
I mean,
I thought you meant like
if we're making up
they
names,
had 6 touchdowns for the Niners. I'm
no,
like,
no.
I'm still not convinced that there's actually Michael Jackson and Kobe Bryant on the Seahawks defense. Apparently, that's a thing. And I'm still not convinced that's
that's
real.
right. I
I
did
still
hear.
am convinced that I'm hallucinating. That there's a Michael Jackson and a Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, I know there was like tackle by Kobe Bryant. I'm
Yes. Yeah. Michael Jackson
R.I.P.
with the
Kobe.
tackle. Yeah, it's very weird. Anyway, so yeah, I think Tua though, just to be like, I'm still so impressed by him. And speaking of 2020 QBs, what do you guys think? Jalen Hurts, where are we at with Jalen Hurts after that Monday night?
I told you guys on last week's podcast, I felt like not only the Eagles were going to be a really good team this year, I told you the Lions looked pretty good too.
Lions look good.
They both
looked
won
good.
this
I
past
agree.
weekend and looked pretty damn good. Jalen Hurts on Monday night. I know people were very high on Justin Jefferson and the Vikings after the first week, but I knew the Eagles would
They threw up a dud.
demolish them.
Kirk Cousins in primetime.
I'm a buyer into the system of Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
But it's funny because we've got the 2020 quarterbacks, and I know Herbert stands
Reemergence.
alone, but you've got Hurts and Tua that are kind
Stand
of
alone.
like
I don't know. I like Hurts and Tua more than Herbert right now. I don't know. what do you guys say?
I don't know.
Not quite enough to dethrone him yet.
No.
I know that
And then you got Burrow that's lost to Cooper Rush and
games in a row.
Trubisky.
they need some help on the offensive line, like right now.
Desperately.
Aaron
like-
Rodgers has played without offensive line, still wins games.
He's
Well, I
Aaron
mean,
Rodgers.
He's Aaron Rodgers.
But Joe Burrow is
He's not
champion.
He ain't Aaron Rodgers
can't
yet.
don't do that.
He
We
ain't
can't
Aaron
we can't
Rodgers.
do that. We can't be comparing Joe Burrow to Aaron Rodgers.
So was last year just luck?
no, he got sacked a lot last year too.
He did. And he's capable of being very streaky, and he's a great quarterback. and he's,
I think they are going to have to figure out a way to win games without having an offensive line. It could happen. They obviously figured it out last year. Their offensive line wasn't that good.
Yep.
I think the Bengals are going to be fine. I think they're still going to be a playoff team. But yeah, I mean, if you're playing fantasy and you're looking for a defense to pick up, generally you'd probably stay away from going against the Bengals. I'd go for it.
yeah. Who was their week one again? Who are they losing week
Pittsburgh.
one? Okay. That was a weird game. And they haven't played
Pittsburgh didn't look that great.
No,
that game.
they didn't.
They still won.
It
They
was a
didn't-
coin toss game.
Yeah, they didn't look great, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think he got sacked like 4 or 5 times. I think he had 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
Like,
Let me tell you something. Pittsburgh. They got a great coach over there. Because I got Deontay Johnson on my fantasy team, and I hate that Mitchell Trubisky is the quarterback over there because I know my man ain't getting no touches.
I know. He was on one of my teams this week too. It's tough.
I was
man.
like, can we move on to Pickett now or
Yeah,
Rudolph?
at what point do they
well, I
make
mean, they're
that?
1-1.
They're 1-1.
yeah, the
But
first game was a
Trubisky-
little
But it ain't been
fluky.
him.
But
Yeah.
Trubisky's not. I know he's not gonna the type of player to get like huge. Like Deontay Johnson is not gonna have like great games with Mitchell Trubisky as his quarterback. I don't think.
I don't think he would have great games with the other guys.
Yeah.
I
Well, what do
think
we-
so, dude?
What do we think about the 2022 rookie class now that we've gotten 2 games? I mean, we saw Drake London pretty much running all over the champions, getting catches.
He had a good game.
He had a great game.
good
I
game.
mean,
Okay,
he exposed that
okay.
secondary.
Okay, he had a good game.
Good game.
He had a good game.
I don't think Ramsey
he
can
also
cover
got,
anybody.
He also got punked at the end of the game, and Ramsey went up and got a game-winning interception.
But
So, hey,
if we're
there's always
talking
that.
rookie receivers, though, it was Wilson from the Jets.
Garrett Wilson
Garrett
had a
Wilson
great
had the
season.
game.
Who looked like he was gonna go out in the middle of the game with the injury, and then
Yep.
he came back.
He
and
had
a
a
really good
game.
I think-
Joe
I think
Flacco,
the
he's
issue,
back.
The issue with London is Mariota. Mariota
Yep.
is, yeah.
He didn't look
Whereas
good.
Garrett
he
Wilson,
he is Mariota. I mean, you saw him play with the Raiders last year. Like,
Yep.
he is Mariota. He's like
a good backup.
he's just good enough. He's a perfect stopgap quarterback, a guy that you can throw in there for a year and then replace him with somebody else.
Dude,
Like Ritter.
Rams led off that game. Like
the Rams were up. The Rams were
up.
up 28-3. The game was over.
Yeah, they let them
they
back
were
in.
dominating, but we had
I
a
didn't
block,
realize it was 28-3
a
against the
blocked
Falcons,
punt
by the
for
way.
a field goal.
I know. I saw that it was that.
Cooper
That's kinda
Kupp
funny.
fumbled the ball at their own 20-yard line. It was like an absolute train wreck. Everything was going wrong.
It almost turned into goddamn Raider game.
It almost did, and I mean, the Rams do that. They
But
go up.
Cooper Kupp looking like Hunter Renfro.
But Rams, unlike the Raiders, know how to finish a game, so they at least they escaped with the victory.
They got
so.
the vets. I mean, Jalen Ramsey coming up big. You know,
Hunter Renfrow had 2 fumbles, huh?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Right.
Like that decision to even just throw it in overtime instead of just running, just get a little bit closer to.
You guys were in field goal range.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's no reason to
and it's not like it was a field goal to win the game at that point because the Cardinals had already had a possession. So like, one of the.
So did you guys? I didn't see it. Did you guys go for the field goal and miss?
No, we went for a pass play to the left on to Renfrow, and then he fumbled it.
And
they got picked up in return for a touchdown.
Yep.
That's right. It was a walk-off for that. Yeah, that's right. I did see that. I was at the Niners game, so going on at the same time.
For that game, kind of thinking about Kyler, who put on maybe the best fourth quarter performance of his entire career, I think we can all kind of agree on that. That was incredible what he did.
But for 3 quarters of that game, he was pretty terrible.
Absolutely. And so that's the conundrum I always have with Kyler is like if this hobby is like he gets so much hype, and I know it's died down a little bit, but like every time I think, well, finally the bottom's gonna fall out, it's time to sell. We just need to take the L on Kyler, and then he does that, and it's not just that he does it; like he does it in spectacular fashion. Like that 2-point conversion play is like. I'm going to be thinking about that play all year long. And then you had the play to D-Hop a couple years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say that with the walk-off D-Hop.
He's got these, like, huge moments amid all of this inconsistency that I think keeps him still in our thoughts at the forefront of our thoughts.
But
when
he plays so bad at times that he has to come up with these amazing plays to make up for, like, how poorly he's played.
Didn't he have the longest 2-point conversion time-wise of
over
all
20
time?
seconds.
This is what I'm gonna say. Dude.
It was 20 seconds.
I get it. Kyler is very elusive, okay, and he's great at that. He's great at being elusive, like a lot of these running quarterbacks are.
He broke Max Crosby's sack.
I know.
Insane.
But Jesus, besides Max Crosby guy, like we can. Like he had like 10 minutes in the pocket, bro. Like of course you're gonna find the open man
Kyler ate a
eventually,
sandwich while he was about to make that play.
He was like, yeah, literally, he was eating a sandwich. He's like
playing Call of Duty back there.
like, bro, you gonna give any quarterback that amount of time, they're gonna make a play happen. A serviceable quarterback is gonna find a way to win.
But he did. But it was Kyler,
and it happened like 2 or 3 times towards the end of the game.
So which before we move on to guess that player, which I'm excited to do, which if you could. After this week, and you had to pick one of these wide receivers to invest in, rookie wide receiver, who do you think it's going to be between Drake London, Jahan Dotson, I think I'm saying his name correctly, there's Chris Olave, and then there is, of course, Garrett Wilson. Which one do you think has the brightest future and could be an investment piece?
Drake London. I mean, he had some good routes. The Rams are playing off on him like they usually. Like Ramsey will play like. He'll play like 10 yards off somebody. So they were getting some easy completions, but he was running good routes, and he's big. So, yeah, Drake London, if he had a legit, like, really good quarterback, he'd be insane.
Yeah. My pick is the Jets rookie, only because out of all those guys you named, he probably has the best quarterback, not right now, but coming back to him.
Well, I mean, Flacco's a Super Bowl champion.
Right,
but, I mean,
he has a serviceable quarterback now, but he's in the best situation with a receiver that has, or a quarterback that has a higher ceiling than any of these other quarterbacks that these rookies have.
True.
You're talking about you're not
Wilson.
talking about Flacco. You're talking about
Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah, so he has Wilson, right? Because you look at Olave, he has right now Winston, and then who's the?
And they're not really connecting at this point.
No, it's more Michael Thomas.
Who knows what's happening with Mariota and the Desmond Ridder, their rookie situation there in Atlanta. And who's the other one? Washington. I told you guys about Carson Wentz, bro. I told you guys about Carson Wentz last week, bro.
Second in the league right now. It's just the injury history with him.
Yeah. Carson Wentz is not reliable. He'll give you that spectacular game where he looks like he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
But that wasn't on him last week, though. That was the defense.
He didn't help himself.
No.
If you were to, what do you think the odds are that Carson Wentz stays healthy and plays all season?
Not good.
Yeah, and that's always going to be the knock on him.
Yeah.
Like Carson Wentz, there's no doubt when he is healthy, he is a good quarterback.
Yeah. He's a good
probably
the man was almost should have been MVP during Super Bowl year.
To say this, but probably the best quarterback in his draft. Probably better than Jared Goff when healthy.
And
yeah.
Dak.
I was gonna say Dak.
And Dak.
At this point, I like
No,
Jared Goff more,
Dak's
bro.
the best in that. But
I
number two-
don't know
I don't know.
I don't know if Dak is who Dak used to be with all the injuries.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Dak's definitely
that's fair.
Dak, even like being mobile used to be a good attribute for Dak. He is not mobile like he
anymore.
used to be.
Let's still say it's. I think Dak by landslide. I think
I
Wilson
think,
is.
I think it's when I actually.
I don't like
I
Wentz.
think I'm a big fan of Dak, but right now I'm going Wentz, Goff, Dak.
All right.
I mean, it was a 36-27 game, so there was a lot of offense
was
going
shootout.
on. And for Lions fans, I mean, sitting at 1-1 right now is probably going to be the best you felt in a long time.
36-27, but for majority of the game, just like the Rams game, the Lions were in
Lions-
control.
Oh yeah,
of
they
that-
were.
of that game.
Yeah, they
Lions
were
were up 22-0 at halftime.
Yeah,
I believe.
they were.
Jeez.
They were killing it.
But I
They-
think C-Rad's on it. Wilson to Wilson, that's going to be the connection.
That's what I'm thinking, too.
Garrett Wilson has a good enough quarterback in the time being that clearly they've made an
Amazing
instant connection. Great, the most Browns loss in Browns history possibly.
They were Browning, and Raiders
They
were
were,
Raidering.
yes, exactly.
Yeah,
a
that's a
lot
good
of
way
it
to say
going
it.
on. And then when Zach Wilson comes back, to me, I don't want to get. I don't want to hype this up as like this could be this is what's going to happen, but the possibility of like you pair up a really good rookie quarterback with a really good rookie receiver. We saw it with Burrow and Chase. I know there's the LSU connection, but you see that you could get some really solid results out of that. Building those guys up together as a unit can, I think, is that's to me the most
That's
promising.
why the Jets were my hot pick 2 episodes ago. Yeah. Let's go to Super Bowl.
Yeah. All right.
Guess that player.
Guess that player, not guess that price. This is guess that player. So I'm going to give you 4 quarterbacks, and 3 of them are guys we just talked about.
Oh, I
4
thought you were gonna make us guess the quarterbacks.
Yes, you are going to guess
okay.
the quarterbacks based off the prices you see. And the 4 quarterback choices you have are the 3 previous guys you saw on that slide that we've already talked about: Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Tua Tagovailoa, and I threw in Justin Fields as well, who had a bit of a heartbreaking loss in Green Bay. I don't know. Did you guys see that video of the Bears fans saying they cheated? They cheated.
No.
That's pretty funny.
Heartbreaking loss. They was well in hand.
Yes, I know. But yeah, the guy was like, if we would have won
That
if they
was,
didn't cheat.
Yeah,
He was like crying. It's
Oh,
anyway.
my God.
Bears fans. Yeah, the Bears fans. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Tom. Well, I'll say Tom Brady.
So-
Aaron Rodgers is their daddy.
Yes. Yes.
23-5.
So here you go. There are 4 prices you see on the screen: $1,150, $1,950, $2,325, and $1,502. Those are the prices of their last Silver Prism autos. They're all PSA 10s. The last ones that sold. I'll give you the date that they sold, but give me the quarterback of those 4: Hurts, Jackson, Tua, and Justin Fields. We'll start off with which quarterback's Silver Prism Auto PSA 10 sold for $1,150 on or in September. I'll just give you the month. In September.
Fields.
This month.
Hurts.
Let me write this all down. So C-Rad says Fields.
I say Fields.
Dan says Fields. And
I'm gonna.
I almost want
shocked.
to. I almost want
if
to change
he's
mine
not
to
the-
Fields
if he's
too,
not
but
the cheapest one.
I'd have an advantage if it was Hurts.
Hurts.
Yep.
All right. Doug's saying Hurts. Who sold for $1,950 also this month? Who sold for $1,950?
And it's between.
I don't want to give you the exact date because I was like, if I give you the exact date, it might reveal it. I'll just give you the month.
Who's the
Tua, Lamar, and Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields. Those are your options. $1,950 PSA 10
Lamar.
Silver Prism. Lamar.
Lamar.
Dan says Lamar. Doug says Lamar. C-Rad
This is
says
tough. Tua.
Tua. C-Rad says Tua. All right, who sold for $23.25? Highest price of these guys.
Herbert?
Herbert's not an option. Doug, your 2 options are Tua and Justin Fields.
Oh man.
Your 2 options are Tua and Justin Fields. Is the highest selling guy.
I was holding Herbert back for that 23.
Herbert's not an option.
Oh, it looks like his hair's hanging out the side.
You did the same.
That could be a strap, though.
I think
That
I
could
got
just be a
duped.
strap.
I think I got duped.
Can I change the 2,300 to Lamar? And then the next.
What does everyone say? What
No,
is,
because I want to do the same thing, but I've already locked it in. I'm an idiot.
so Dan, what are you saying? Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I can't.
Did I say Herbert? I didn't say
No,
that.
you didn't say
Okay.
that.
I'm just making sure.
We just love Herbert so much that he's on the dome.
Yeah, but so are we at the 23-25?
23-25. That's the highest one. Again, Justin Fields, or Tua and Jalen Hurts are your last two available.
Yeah, I know. It's Lamar Jackson, but
They clearly is.
Could be a strap. You don't know what it is.
I'm gonna go. I guess I gotta go Tua because I'm
All
pretty
right,
sure
Tua.
1502 is Hurts.
Doug and C-Rad, who do we got?
Tua.
Tua.
Yeah.
Yeah, 23-25 is Lamar Jackson.
Lamar. And 1502.
Jalen
So
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts says C-Rad.
Hurts.
Hurts says Dan. And for Doug, he is saying Justin Fields. Actual player. Dun, da, 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 da.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts sold for
I got that one right.
$1,150. That was pretty recent, but not after the Monday night loss, so that's probably going up. Tua just sold for
Yeah, I got them all
$1,950.
wrong.
Yeah, I
got
think,
everyone wrong.
Well, Doug got the first and the last one right,
wrong.
so we're
I got
tied.
everyone wrong.
Doug got the last two, and C-Rad got the middle two, so yeah, we're tied.
I don't know why I thought it was Herbert. I should have just referred to the other picture we had.
So
but,
now that we've seen that, yeah, I think pretty obvious now, Lamar being the top guy makes sense.
that is
but-
actually surprising, though, because his prices have been down.
Yeah, what do we think? I was going to put Trevor and Mac Jones, but that would have been more obvious. They would have been easily the highest price guys on that list.
It is crazy that both those guys are higher, even though Lamar Jackson has won an MVP.
He's won an MVP. He's been to the playoffs almost every year of his career.
It's because he's tier 3 in the collecting world. That's what it is.
He has more 100-yard rushing games than Michael Vick. I couldn't believe it when I heard that this weekend.
I say before the season started, in terms of the hobby, he was a tier 2 quarterback. But I think he's working his way back
He's
to tier
getting
1.
back.
Tier,
He's
tier
getting
2,
back.
right? He was a tier 1.
Yeah,
That
he was.
that MVP year, I would say he was a tier 1.
Yes, easily. I think Hurts here is going to grow the most. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if in the next week we see that number go up quite a bit, considering what we've seen the first 2 weeks from Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles, I think, have potential to really run away with that division.
They're gonna wreck that
They're
division.
so much better than every other team in that division right now. It's really not even close.
AJ Brown opened up that offense like a mother. Dude.
AJ Brown Hurts as a run, like he's not the running threat of Lamar,
but he
but
can do it.
He
He's
can
a
do it when he
good
needs
runner,
to. Yeah,
exactly.
do you have 2 rushing
he had
touchdowns?
2 rushing touchdowns in that
Like,
game.
and they were like really good rushing touchdowns.
Yes.
Like he was fighting for yardage, and like I was like pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it real quick. Who do we got? Who is your guys' pick to click? Week 3. Anyone we should be investing in before this week's?
This is going to be a really bold one, but I'm going to say that Jameis Winston is going to have 500 yards and 4 touchdowns this week. Maybe 3 interceptions too. But the main thing,
he'll be
He's got W.
he is going to be throwing the ball.
he's going to Carolina. Carolina's leaking some oil a little bit, and I think it's not a long-term thing, but I think we're going to be talking about Jameis come Monday. We probably will stop talking about him after that, but I think he's going to have a huge game.
Me and Dan's pick for Panthers in the playoffs is looking really bad right about now. I
Yeah.
know it's only 2 weeks, but they do
Little
not look
baby.
good.
I think I also said
No
Lions.
mermaid.
I said Lions though as well.
Lions too. That's true.
Yeah, Lions is a good one.
But that's a deep sleeper. Jameis Winston, get out your 2015s.
Yeah, I don't think
He's going to have weeks like that, though, where he goes like 500
Yeah.
yards and 5 touchdowns. He will have
100%.
Oh, for sure.
I had Doug's gonna hate this. I think Russell Wilson gets right. I think
Let's
I think this
ride.
is the start of them turning around their season, and it's not even close. They blow the Niners out.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to echo a friend of Mojobreak, Joe Staley, who was on local sports radio this week, saying, I think I root against Russell more than I root against the Seahawks, I think is what he paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But he said, I was rooting for the Seahawks against Russell Wilson and the Broncos.
Well, he was in here, and I was like, hey, I like your shoes. He goes, I hate these things. He's like, I didn't realize it was Goodman brand and then I looked up Goodman brand. It was owned by Russell Wilson. So he was like,
There's a deep-seated
Yeah.
dislike there. Yeah.
Why?
Corny.
Russell's so great.
Corny.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean,
Let's ride.
I hate him now a little bit because he's on the Denver Broncos, but I respect him as a quarterback. It's the same thing when Peyton went to the Broncos.
And just hearing all the stories, there's a recent podcast with Richard Sherman that he doesn't go out of his way to be like, I don't like Russell Wilson, but it was more about the way they treated Russell over everybody else on the team. It created a divide, and it does not seem like anyone was.
He's
sad
the
to see him
teacher's
go.
pet. Let's face it.
He was the teacher's pet.
He's the guy getting A+, staying after class, working with the teacher, and
That's
you
a
know.
bad thing.
I know.
No,
I'm all, what's
I
wrong
mean, you
with
want
that?
your quarterback to be that, I guess. You're right.
No, because you're like everybody else. He's not even hanging out with. He's just hanging out with the teacher. You know what I mean?
Well, he's trying to make the team better.
He just
He's
doesn't
the
do himself-
He's the captain of the ship.
He doesn't do
But he's
himself
not
any
liked by his
favors.
peers because of that reason.
He doesn't do himself any favors for how weird and corny he is. I'm sorry. He is the corniest dude in all the NFL.
I don't know about
And
that.
clearly his teammates didn't like him, and for whatever reason, so
it's
there's
like
something
a weird like.
And also, he's the
It's
Seahawks,
weird
so
to
of course
like
it's deeper
dislike
rooted in me.
Russell Wilson for being again teacher's pet and a corny guy.
Yes!
I mean this is he's like we're like really grasping for straws
That's right.
here. Like
That's
why we
right.
don't like him.
Again, two Niner fans talking about how much they don't like
Niner fans
yeah.
are like, gee, didn't see that one coming.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Again, full discrepancy. Two Niner fans saying we don't like Russell Wilson. Shocker.
I know we thought we didn't have to play him again this year, but apparently the Broncos are on the schedule. So.
My week 3 pick is I think he's gonna get back on track this week. Is gonna be the guy on the screen, Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
at some point Joe Burrow is gonna turn it on again. I mean, he had that was it appendectomy over the summer and he lost some weight. I don't know if he's like 100% necessarily, but at some point, obviously they have to figure out that offensive line we talked about earlier. But just as like turning down, not turning the ball over as much, finding his targets more often. I think that he's gonna start turning it up this week.
I think it's a must win for him.
yeah.
I think if they
And it's
lose,
against the Jets.
I think if they lose this week, I don't know if they come back from 0-3.
Well, you know what? There's only one game that both teams are 0-2 that are playing each other this week, and it's the Raiders-Titans. So one
Two
of those
playoff teams.
One of those teams is going to be like pretty much season doom and gloom over.
Titans look really bad.
Titans don't look good.
Well, they're both going to be playing for their
have-
season,
Man, and what's crazy is that
and it is in Tennessee.
I took the long shot with them on Monday. I thought they were going to be able to keep it close. Obviously, I was proved wrong. And it looks more dire than I thought. Like them losing A.J. Brown and then not necessarily even having any main receiver to go to is a big
and
deal
just
for
stacking
them.
the box on Henry.
It's
oh God,
very.
that's all you have to worry about if you're the defense.
Well,
Well,
Tannehill
and
can't win
Henry's
the game.
had so many touches over the years that like he isn't the Derrick Henry of 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
And you could see like they're giving the ball to other guys in the
Yeah.
backfield as well.
This-
I think the Raiders get this game.
Oh,
as much
they
as
should.
They should.
Yeah,
They
Cody,
should.
you still want to do that trade, right? The Eckler for Henry.
We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. I still like Derrick Henry.
Who's
I
your pick,
still
Cody?
think- I put a few guys on this slide here. Like you said, Joe Burrow, the Jets passing D was not good last year. Maybe a little better this year, but he should carve him up pretty good. I'm not just saying this because I understand who writes the checks around here, the Rams fan and Jared Goff fan, Dan, but I really like Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions this week.
Man,
Lions are a good team
I
this
like.
year, dude.
I am rooting for the Lions. I'm rooting for Dan Campbell.
Yeah, it's hard to root
I'm
against
rooting
a
for
team.
Jared Goff. Jared Goff got
It's been bad
a
for so long.
raw
He had a
deal.
good week. 20 for 34, 256 yards, 4 touchdowns last week against Washington.
His young guys are killing it.
And they're
too, dude.
going against the Vikings team that has allowed the 4th most passing yards in all of football and the 2nd worst opponent quarterback completion percentage. This is a week where Goff should go, and Amon-Ross St. Brown looks good.
Incredible.
Yeah.
He looks
and
good.
the other one too, the other guy that had DeAndre Swift.
Yeah,
Looked amazing.
A lot of good weapons in that lineup.
I think this is gonna be a shootout.
Shootout,
I
total
think Vikings are gonna definitely bounce back.
I also
too.
think Dalvin Cooks has a big game in that one
I think
because
he
the
needs to.
Lions' run defense
Yeah.
is bad. So I think there's two guys
45
right
to
there.
40 game
Yeah,
right there.
I could see Dalvin going off for 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. I could see Goff going off for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, no pressure on Kirk this week, so he's gonna have a good game.
No
That's
pressure
right.
on Kirk. He's not in there. And I do want to just say, if you're looking for a good investment, I did get. This is why I know I got the right pick. Ate at fine establishment, Panda Express. Everybody in here loves it. And
Fortune cookie?
A fortune cookie said, I'll put it up to the camera. I don't know if you can see it. Invest in others. Invest in Jared Goff.
Oh, my God. I like it. It was meant to be.
Orange chicken,
meant to
man.
be.
16.
Orange
Number
delicious.
16.
It's can't be good.
Is it
Fine
still? Does it still have the lucky numbers on there?
Fine
Does it
establishment.
have lucky numbers on the back?
I don't think it does. No, it's.
I was gonna
it's-
say because it had a 16 on there, that'd be
Blank.
crazy.
Little celebration
yeah.
here
Oh,
at
boy.
Mojobreak.
Yeah.
I wasn't here for lunch, and I knew. Actually, you know what? Our DoorDash driver Doug was able to go out and pick everybody's food
Make
up
it
for
happen.
him.
I know. I should take a fortune cookie on the
Because
way
for
out.
whatever reason, it's set to deliver to Chipotle.
Yeah, that's a
Is
funny
our-
story.
Yeah, wrap your head around that.
Bro, what you should have did was program your car to just drive it itself.
I know. I could have done that. I should have did that. Well, that's all we got for this week on Mojobreak Blitz and Mojobreak the Hype podcast. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Head over on to mojobreak.com for your gold standard football needs and Chronicles basketball, along with lots of other stuff, including more Major Mojo football, more Major Mojo baseball. Can't even talk because I'm so excited. And mojobreakshop.com with all your latest wax needs, and we'll see you next week on the Hype.